Hello and welcome to our very first episode of Crusader Kings 2. So, I have all the DLC for the game, so I'm going to start in the year 867, the Old Gods DLC. Basically, it kind of takes after the fall of Rome a little, a couple centuries, I believe. Yeah, there's what's left of Rome and the Byzantine Empire. And then there's good old jolly England, split up into how many countless little counties and countries. And then Ireland, which is not unified as a single country yet, and a bunch of counties as well. And then there are the Norse. I was really debating on playing as them, but for, playability, I think I'm going to choose with Ireland, just because it's more interesting in terms of going with political backstabbery sense, and it's funner and it's more like a goal based, like Ireland. That's all I'm focused on. And I'm gonna choose the county of Desmond. It's on the southern part of Ireland. And I'm also gonna change my dude's appearance because I don't like the cut of this guy's jib. So his eyes. Let's get rid of his beard actually. Just kind of see what his face looks like underneath. Hairstyle. Ooh, I like those eyes. They're very piercing eyes. Beautiful mouth. And, Whoa. Wow. Look at that chin. So crazy. You got little dimples. Okay. I'm satisfied with that. Eye color blue. Why not? Give him a good old scruffulous beard. Let's see. What kind of hair to give you? I like that. Yeah, let's go with that. Next. I do like this coat of arms, so let's just throw a line on there. And Gileolota Craig. Hey, what's up, Craig? You're not Craig anymore. You are gonna be Jon Snow. Get the reference? That's a plus for you. Let's raise our marshal a little bit so that way we can lead the troops. Diplomacy kind of goes a long way. Intrigue will help out a lot. Stewardship as well. And I think that'll be fine. I'm not going to start off as married because I want a bit of a challenge. I'm not going to give any extra traits because if you give your character traits at the beginning, he will gain very older. That's how it works basically. Is like, oh, I get this trait. I lose 14 years, so that'd be like 39 or whatever. However, whatever. Or however this works. I know it's based on making your guy older or younger. So I'm satisfied with that, so we'll click finish. And then, yeah, let us start our campaign. Ooh, I'm so excited. There's Bantry Bay, St. George's Channel, Dongle Bay. Or is it? Yeah, it's Dongle Bay. Alright. So, for those of you who've never played Crusader Kings 2 before, the game is basically about taking your dynasty or your family's house and having it being superior in Europe and in the Indian subcontinent, which is over here, which was recently added that wasn't there before, and then, well, it's there now in the year 867. So that's kind of interesting to see that in such an early time. And I'm very, very, very ignorant of Indian history, so bear with me on that. And so how you go about raising your family up through the ranks and getting a higher score is basically doing things that would, secure your family, like taking over kingdoms or causing wars, so on and so forth, and doing things that give your family prestige. So, for instance, this is Earl John of Desmond. He owns Desmond, and that's it. And an earl in Ireland is an equivalent of a count. Is a count. It's just an earl is just a title. That's the same thing, just different. So he isn't. We have just 5 prestige just because we hold a county. 1 member. We can change our house icon again if we want to, but it's not really needed because we like that. It's basic but cool at the same time. So what we want to do now, since it's just us, and that's it. There's no wife, no children, no father, no mother, no brothers, no sisters, no nothing. It's just us. Mainly because if you start the game with a custom character like this, then you don't have a family, which is kind of sad. But you basically just come out of the blue. So what we're going to do before we resume the game is we're going to set, or no, not arranged marriage, but we're going to pick an ambition. Or, yeah, okay, I guess we'll click on that instead. And we're going to get married. Earl John desires to get married. Oh, yes. So basically, this will earn us, I think, piety if we complete it. And ambitions and what they are is just kind of like a personal goal for your character to have. And if he accomplishes that goal, he gets a little bonus with the reward of completing that goal. So if we get married, we get a little extra piety and all that stuff. And these are just alerts saying like what's going on. Like, I'm unmarried, I have open council positions, and I have no heir to my dynasty. So before we move on, let's choose a wife. A wife. And these are all the available wives we can choose from right from the get-go of the game. In year 867. So there's Ermesenda, Courtier of Rossello, or Sorcio, di Barcelona, and a Catalan. So she's a Midas touch. That gives her a lot of beneficial stuff. She's patient. She's a bit gluttonous, which doesn't help with her attraction, and the church doesn't like her and reduces her stewardship. A little shy, but she's ambitious. Ambitious characters are really cool, but at the same time they can cause a pain. So, for instance, Ermesenda would possibly quite likely want to try to take over if I married her and kill me if she didn't like have a thing for me, which is understandable. So we're not going to choose her even though she has outstanding statistics in stewardship and martial. She is really bad at being intriguing, so she only has 3, and learning is 9, diplomacy 6. Oh yeah, another thing is too, these are all the stats in the game that every character has that exists in the world of Crusader Kings. And basically, they each have their own purpose. For instance, learning is good for priests, and the higher their learning score is, the more better they are at converting populations and researching like cultural tech. So higher learning is better for that, and intrigue is good for spy masters who can uncover plots and increase assassination attempts on a character in a certain county that he is in. And stewardship is good for your steward who like keeps tracks of your finances and stuff, for increasing tax income once he's in a taxing, or increases build speed once he's set for oversee of constructions and stuff like that. This little sword icon here is just the martial skill, which improves the ability of your character to better lead his men in battlefield, and also I think increases their survivability in battle. I'm not too positive on that, if that does play a factor. And then last but not least, there's diplomacy, which gives you better chances to get things agreed on in diplomatic negotiations. Like, for instance, let's say Earl John has a daughter, and another Earl in another county in Ireland has a son. And there are only kids, and the reason, if I had low diplomacy, and if I wanted my daughter to wed that guy's son, he would say no right off the bat just because his son is too close to the line of succession in his family. But if I have a really high opinion of him and of me, and if I had a really high diplomacy rating, he would most have a better chance of saying yes. I cannot talk today for some weird reason. But yeah, that's just how it works with diplomacy. So it better increases the chance of diplomatic options to respond more favorably to you. So that's statistics, or not statistics, jeez. Whew. Character traits and whatnot. And moving on up from that. So, we don't want Ermesenda. Another thing is, too, if when we go to marry someone, we should try to marry within our own culture. Just because if we marry someone from another culture, it'll have like a negative effect on us, and culture penalties, and it'll be a little harder to get more intimate with that person. So marrying someone that's like relatively close to your culture or as a subculture would work well too. Like for instance, I could marry someone in Wales. That would be fine, and all that good stuff. Ben Numan, Courier, and Tara. A misguided warrior. Honest, not bad. Paranoid. That just seems to cancel each other out a little bit, which isn't bad. Yeah. Oh, she's lustful. Ooh, and ambitious. And her martial is good, and her intrigue is very nice too. Ooh, she is kind of a favorable person to wed. Let's see what other options we have first before we make a decision. Oh, here's you. You're a tough soldier. Humble. Zealous. Gluttonous. And chaste. Chaste. Ugh. Chaste is good if you want to earn more piety, I think. Yeah. 0.50 piety monthly. Increases the church opinion of you, but for instance, lustful characters would not like chaste characters, and it decreases fertility chance by 15%, so that's not good if I want children. Naive appeaser. Naive appeasers want to be well liked and fancy themselves diplomats. Unfortunately, everyone else just tends to bully them. Yeah, too bad then. Just lustful. Another potential person, but her stats are kind of low, so we're not gonna really choose her. If she had higher maybe intrigue and stewardship, I probably would say yes. But it looks like that first one I saw is the most promising, so let's go with her. Where did she go? There she is. Oh, we would get no alliance from this marriage. That's another thing to consider. When you're marrying someone outside of your county, you could marry your own courtier, but that's usually not a good thing. But if you marry someone's family that has power, you can form an alliance with that power and then call them into war and all that stuff. So that's kind of neat. But since she's a courtier and she doesn't really have any ties to the ruling family there, we wouldn't get no real alliance from them. So that's fine. I'm not looking for any alliances. I'm just looking to make babies. So King Aid of Terra proposed that Earl John and Ben Muman get married, as Earl John would gain 4 prestige from marrying the house Irenaglandanach and 0 from marrying the relative of an earl. He would say yes, so let's go ahead and send that. So, cool. So that's being sent, and the game's unpaused, so all this will roll out as soon as we can unpause the game. Next, we gotta choose our counselors. So, the first one is the Chancellor. Like I said, they're mainly in charge of just improving relations with other counts, dukes, kings, whoever, essentially, that you plot them in a county in. So, typically we want to choose someone with a high diplomacy score. And this guy fits the bill, but he also has a very high learning score. And very high intrigue. So, but I also have another guy with high intrigue. I think I'll make him my priest, and then I'll make this guy my diplomat, because he has a very high learning score. He's probably the only person around here that has good stats. No one here really has good martial ability, except for you. So I'll have you as my marshal, and you as my steward, since you have 11 in stewardship, and my spy master would be you. Ba-boom. Cool, I have my little personal advisory cabinet all situated. So, we have Ku. I'm just going to call him Ku. Spy Master Ku. I'm going to have him scheme in my own province, just in case if someone doesn't like me, I can find out why. And then my court chaplain, there's no point in prolificizing. Basically, that just means converting. And for instance, let's say I conquered Ormond, and Ormond still believes in pagan gods, and so I would send him, and they would slowly convert yearly to the Catholic faith, and that takes a while in my experience with this game. So but if you're a Catholic faction, you don't really have to worry about that unless you're conquering like really far distant areas that are a completely different religion than you. So we're just gonna have him improve religious relations with the Pope. I always want to do that with the Pope. Just why not? And then we have Ostuelt, Dunchad, Clone. Let's see. I think I shall have him collect taxes because we kind of need money badly. There's nothing under construction, and I don't really care for researching things at the moment. And then we have our Marshal Conchobar, if I'm saying that right. And forgive me if I cannot read any of these names, just because it's kind of historically accurate in terms of names. So, since he's our Marshal, he has 3 tasks we can have him perform. He can suppress revolts, which is kind of nice if you've recently conquered someone and they don't think too highly of you. You can have your Marshal just kind of be like, hey, calm your tits, I'm here. Or we can have trained troops, which he, over time, increases the levy size and reinforcement rate of whatever provinces you control. So we'll have him just improve the levy since Desmond's not rebellious at the moment. And last but not least, we have our Chancellor. I think I kind of touched base on what they did, but I didn't go into depth about what they did. So basically what they do is they have 3 tasks. So they have Sow Descent, which means if you click on that and put them somewhere... Can I do it in my own province? No. Okay, so if you click on this and then you click on any other county in the world, they would go to that county and then they would start spreading rumors and bullshit amongst the lords and nobles and lieges, and then they would essentially sow dissent. So that can be good in the long run if you want like the head lord to have all his vassals turn against him, and if you wanted to, let's say, get everyone in a plot to kill the lord. So that's one good thing you can have from that. And then there's Fabricate Claim. And what this does essentially is if you click on another province that you have no right of claiming or have no ties in claiming, your chancellor would get to work trying to create a claim. Essentially, he would just sit there and be like, oh, hey, there's some papers we found, and they said that you own this place, so you should press that claim. So, fabricating claims is not a good thing. So people who already own that county will dislike you for it if you decide to take that claim and press it. And then there's, of course, improved diplomatic relations. So for instance, using this in tandem with Sow Descent is very useful, so that way the lords in different counties would start to like you more. How it works exactly, I think it's more random, but usually I go for the top liege in the province or county, and then it goes down from there. But usually whoever's in charge gets the benefit first before it goes down. So we're just gonna have him fabricate a claim in Thomond, and yeah. So let us unpause the game. I usually like to play in ×3. Oh goody. Eljon and Ben Muman have gotten married. We can collect a royal aid duty to pay for the ceremonies. Yes, collect the people's 1 gold. Wow. It's not even worth it. Get the prestige. Okay. Eljon of Desmond fulfilled the ambition to get married. Oh goody. So, see, we got our ambition fulfilled. So we can go choose a new ambition. So now I have a wifey. Yay. Her opinion of me is not very great, but my opinion of her is fairly good. Funny. So now there's some extra options that were there that weren't there before. So the 2 here is have a son or have a daughter. So basically I want a son, just because it's easier to have a son than a daughter. And what that does, it kind of increases your chances of having a child. It doesn't necessarily mean you would get a son off the bat, but you much prefer one. And so that just increases fertility rate. And she already has lustful, so she, bump an uglies in no time. And what I like to do is I like to go to my wife, and I would like to grant her an honorary title as High Alimony. We have to pay her 0.02 gold monthly, which isn't that bad. I don't even know my monthly balance yet because this month hasn't passed, so we can afford that. So that would improve our relations with her by 10. So that brings us in a positive by 1. So basically, we just gave her a little title saying she's a High Alimony. She can, she has status now, a bit more status than just being my wife. So now that she likes me, we can start having kids at a better chance rating, essentially. And the reason why she doesn't like me in the first place is because I'm short reign. I'm a new ruler. I just came from nothing. That's kind of what you get too if you created a ruler as well. That's one thing you have to anticipate. But usually that goes away after the first year of your reign, which is kind of nice. So now we wait. Or we can go through our claims. Oh, hey, she has a claim. Countess of Desmond, High Alimony Desmond. Count of Thormond. Whoa. That kind of turned out the way I wanted it to. We claim on the county of Thomond can be inherited by successor. Oh. Well. You just got suddenly more attractive. That's awesome. So basically, why I'm getting excited is because my wife has a weak claim on the county of Thomond. Wait, what's this? Oh, Jesus. Oh, I get the kind trait. If it works. So let me pause the game real quick. So, oh, hey, she's starting to like me more. Oh, personal diplomacy. That's why. Alright, so I'm getting a little sidetracked. Anywho. So, why I'm getting a little excited because of her weak claim on the county of Thomond, which is this province right here, is because she somehow is related to someone in the past that used to kind of rule over Thomond, or had a stronger claim to it than whoever, or maybe is a distant relative to the ruler of Thomond, which would be this guy, perhaps, maybe. No? Yeah, well, there's that. So basically, we could press that claim, and then we could have my wife as the Countess of Thomond. But we don't want to do that now, essentially, because if we wait to have kids, my kids will inherit that too, because it says can be inherited by a successor. So my son or my daughter, or whomever, will inherit that claim on Thomond. So we don't need to worry about fabricating a claim or creating a casus belli against Thomond. We can just get in there and get it done with my kid already having the titles since birth, or the claim on the title since birth. And how titles work essentially is that you can earn them by getting born into them, by taking them by force, or by having being wedded and just having it inherited to you. So my Earl John, has one title, and that is the County of Desmond. So basically what that means is that he owns all of this. And his vassals, he only has 2 because he has 2 holdings within it, which is the bishopric of Clone and the city of Cork. So basically these are his vassals. They pay him taxes most of the time. Usually bishops don't pay if they like the Pope more than you. If they like you more than the Pope, then they start paying you more taxes, which is kind of nice. My mayor doesn't like me, so he doesn't pay me as much. But once we get him to like me more, he will start to pay me more taxes. So, I could own another holding or demesne, or county, essentially, because of my demesne size allows for it. But, yeah, so that's basically how titles work. And then the claim, I already did kind of go over it a little bit, but yeah, apparently I have a claim on the Kingdom of Terra, which is this guy's 2 provinces. It can also be inherited by my successor, so I'm not going to worry about pressing it now. I will wait until I'm more stronger and subjugated these southern counties under my rule. So we'll resume the game. And what intrigue events do I have? Hold a feast, go on a pilgrimage, borrow 300 gold from Jewish merchants, go on a hunt, and invite people to my court. I can't use a plot because there's no one to use it against. So it's already May. Let's see what's going on in the rest of the world. Yeah, it looks like the invasion of Northumberland is underway with all the Scandinavians. Khazaria. Yeah, everything's still relatively the same. Of course, the game just started, so I'm not expecting anything crazy. But essentially what my game plan is, is that I'm going to control like this down. Because once I have all of this, I can create the duchy, I believe. Yeah, the Duchy of Munster. So I would gain that tile after I created it and hold it. So then I would hold Southern Ireland under my name. And then, yeah, that'd be awesome. Let's see. Oh yeah, and chancellors, or chancellors, counselors, and, okay, I'll get to that in a minute. Counselors and wives add to your stats. So these are my core stats, the ones I get on my own, and the one next to it is my my new stats with all my chancellors and my wife. So basically, I have a whole bunch of bonuses, and my strongest trait is my intrigue. So that's nice. So actually I have 23 intrigue, all that good stuff. My liege, I write to you with bad news from Desmond. My efforts to squeeze some extra taxes out of the population have met with resistance, and the peasants are arming themselves. I fear we might have a revolt on our hands soon. Your humble steward, Dungeon. The troublesome peasants. Desmond gets high taxes until September 18th, 868, giving the following effects. Local revolt risk plus 5%. Mayor Finn, my mayor, opinion of me changes by -10 for a year, and my bishop's opinion changes by -10 for a year. That kind of sucks. Well, you're a shitty steward then for failing me, you punk. So let's take a closer look at Ireland anyway. But most of it, the only part that's really kind of unified in any sense of the word would be the Duchy of Tara, which this guy owns, and it's only 2 counties. So, and this guy, a petty king of Tara, has quite a few children. He has no learning. He is incapable of learning, apparently. Dummy. He has some allies, quote-unquote allies, because they have red, and apparently he can't call them the war for some weird reason. Oh, a year has already passed, and my wife is pregnant. Oh, glorious day. Yes. So, another 9 months, and we'll have an heir. And Scotland is there, and this is like some Nordic-controlled parts of Scotland. Mercia. Subujar. You can make a petty kingdom out of those. Vesterland, Osterland. But it looks like a lot of people are mobilizing to fight the Vikings, I guess. I don't really understand, but whatever. So we are making money. Not a lot, but we are making it. That'll change soon once we control more counties and get more taxes from people. But how's our revolt risk doing? High taxes, revolt risk. Ugh. So we actually might have a revolt soon. That is not good. Diplomatic relations. Potential target costs us belli. Nice. Where is the county button? Du jour independent realm. Yeah, there we go. So West Francia, Aquitaine, Lotharingia. I mean, the numerous times I did play as Ireland, it was pretty fun. Like, I took over all of Northern Ireland in one fell swoop along with Southern Scotland from just one guy that inherited it from marriages alone, which was totally unintentional. I was like, whoa, that's awesome, bro. So, that's how awesome the game can be. Usually there's a little rush to that. I was like, whoa. Oh, sweet. I had a son. So, my ambition has been fulfilled. A son was born to Earl John of Desmond and Countess Ben Numan of Desmond, named Senatig. Ugh, that's a horrible name. Let's go with Connell. That's more Irishy and pronounceable. He's my son, damn it. I can name him whatever I want. So, we fulfilled that ambition. So, let's go ahead and try to have a daughter, because daughters are also pretty useful. And I believe with that, we actually are going a little over time. I'll cut it here. And so I hope you guys liked the first episode of Crusader Kings 2. So if you have any suggestions of what I should talk about or cover in the game, just let me know. Or any other suggestions or recommendations on another game, I can also try to put up on the channel. But yeah, I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye!